On my next blood work, my total testosterone number is almost 300 nanograms per deciliter higher and now sits at 1200 with a free testosterone that is now more than twice the reference range on exactly the same protocol of a What's up folks, it's Uranus, we're in Brussels, welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk to you about how my testosterone numbers completely changed over the years while being on exactly the same freaking protocol. I've been on 125 milligrams of testosterone per week now for the past 6 years without any single change. I pin twice per week, 62.5 milligrams, and it has always been testosterone and that. Now somehow my total testosterone numbers went from just about 840 nanograms per deciliter to between 1300 and 1400 nanograms per deciliter, and my free testosterone went from just about 35 nanograms per deciliter to 60 deciliter. Now how exactly is that possible? Well, let's find out together. And I'm not a doctor, this isn't medical advice whatsoever, I'm just an idiot sharing his personal experience. Also, I'm an honest person. I have no reason whatsoever, no incentive to lie to you guys. If I say I'm on 125 milligrams per week, then that is the case. Have I ever taken more testosterone than I should have? Yes, absolutely. But all the blood work you're about to see is on my regular TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, of 125 milligrams per week. Alright, c'est parti. If you know my story, you know I started at 25 years old with total testosterone levels of 80 nanograms per deciliter. At that point, I'm not even mentioning my free testosterone levels because they are completely irrelevant with 80 nanograms per deciliter total. So from the beginning of 2015 to just about 2018, I was on HCG monotherapy to get my ginger ass through medically induced puberty. My T levels went from 80 to 850 nanograms per deciliter, so just about 10 times what I originally had. However, in 2018, after a shitload of problems with HCG shortages and with a long list of side effects because of the HCG, me and my doctor decided to switch to testosterone replacement therapy. Now at first it didn't work out really well because we were working with topical testosterone cream on top of HCG and there were a lot of side effects and I completely always felt like shit, you know, like the protocol was annoying, I had to smear it on me, I never felt really good, I actually felt like a woman on her period most of the times. I would never recommend combining topical testosterone cream and HCG together because in my opinion it simply doesn't work. So after that short episode we decided to switch fully to TRT in the forms of testosterone and that twice per week. That's the levels you see on the left right there. 838 nanograms per deciliter total testosterone with a free testosterone of 35 nanograms per deciliter and a mid-range SHBG or sex hormone binding globulin. By the way, I always have my blood test on true day. It means the day before the next injection. Now when you're injecting twice per week or even on shorter intervals, you never get really high, those highs and lows anymore, but it's still important to state that I always take blood work the day before the next injection. Now let's take a quick look at how my testosterone numbers evolved from 2018 to now, exactly on the same testosterone dosage. The next year I'm already over 1000 nanograms per deciliter in total testosterone. My free testosterone is now over 50 nanograms per deciliter with pretty much exactly the same SHBG numbers. Now apparently I also had a flare-up of chickenpox in my blood. I didn't even know that was possible because I had it as a kid, but whatever. Anyway, that increase in total and free testosterone can be associated with the usage of an AI, an aromatase inhibitor called Arimidex. That was advised by my endocrinologist. I don't remember exactly the dosage, but by blocking that conversion into estrogen, the free testosterone into estrogen, your free testosterone can increase a bit because it can no longer convert into that estradiol. I dropped the AI because it turns out I don't actually need an AI on a testosterone replacement therapy dose of just 125 milligrams of testosterone per week. I don't feel any difference at all while taking an aromatase inhibitor at that dosage. But in Belgium, we do not have the sensitive estradiol testing. It's the same test for women and for men. Only the range is different, but to measure more accurately you need that sensitive estradiol testing that they have at LabCorp in the United States, for example. Now my doctor doesn't know this, so she trusts the numbers, I don't. I dropped the AI back then and I felt completely fine. Now in February 2020, without any AI, I had total testosterone numbers of 937 free testosterone, still mid-range SHBG, so it looked like it was stabilizing. Again, on the blood work, it looks like my estradiol is high, but I felt completely fine and my cock was working great. However, on my next blood work, my total testosterone number is almost 300 nanograms per deciliter higher and now sits at 1200 with a free testosterone that is now more than twice the reference range, on exactly the same protocol of 125 milligrams of testosterone enanthate per week with no AI. Same thing on the next checkup, 1200 nanograms per deciliter and 60 nanograms per deciliter free testosterone with mid-range SHBG. That was in 2022. So my testosterone levels are getting higher and higher on exactly the same protocol, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Estradiol, even if the test isn't reliable here in Belgium, was rising too. On the next blood work, I reached the highest testosterone levels ever with 1400 nanograms per deciliter total testosterone and 625 free testosterone, well 62 nanograms per deciliter free testosterone. My SHBG has actually increased, yet my free testosterone is staying high, and now we're actually getting through the cause of this, the actual reason. I am on finasteride. It's a 5-alpha reductase inhibitor and it prevents a part of my free testosterone into converting into DHT or dihydrotestosterone. The point is to keep some hair on my scalp. Unfortunately, I have androgenic alopecia and that started developing as soon as I started being on hormonal replacement therapy, and I would still like to have some hair in my 40s since the changes were quite dramatic once I was on hormonal replacement therapy. Now, since I'm on finasteride, I'm blocking that conversion from free testosterone into DHT. I also have to be on an aromatase inhibitor again in the form of arimidex, because with finasteride, part of that testosterone can no longer convert into DHT, and so you have more free testosterone. You're more in a situation where you are going to aromatase more because of that higher free testosterone. There is a high probability that testosterone can convert into estrogen, and so I also have to be on an aromatase inhibitor, arimidex. Now, my doctor is a bit crazy and prescribing me 1.5 milligrams of arimidex per week, but I feel completely fine taking 0.25 twice per week. So the increase in testosterone could be linked with the usage of finasteride and arimidex, because if your testosterone can no longer convert into estrogen or not that much, and if it can no longer convert into DHT or not that much, well then your free testosterone will simply just be higher. However, can it explain an increase from 800 nanograms per deciliter total testosterone to 1400 nanograms per deciliter total testosterone? Even I can't answer that. Now, there is a third possibility on the table, and I really hope it isn't the case. A little over 4 years ago, I switched testosterone brands. I was taking a French brand called Androtardil, but it was really annoying because I had to take my car and drive physically to France with my prescriptions and buy that shit in pharmacies in limited quantities, and it was really quite annoying. So now I'm getting my testosterone, same ampoules, testosterone enanthate. It's not called Androtardil, it's testosterone depot or whatever. It is testosterone enanthate, but it's coming from a compounding pharmacy in Germany. Like, I have to send physically the original receipt by priority mail to Germany, and it's quite a famous compounding pharmacy right there. Now, could they be overdosing their testosterone? It's possible, but I think it's highly unlikely because it's pharma grade testosterone, or at least I hope that isn't the case. Now, what I can already tell you is that I'm extremely meticulous with my protocol. I never take too much or never take lower than that. It's always been 62.5 twice per week. I've been doing this shit for almost 10 years now. I always prep my needles the same way, and I know everything is just the same way. So I hope the switch between testosterone brands has nothing to do with this. The bottom line is my testosterone numbers increased exponentially over the years on exactly the same dosages. Now technically with those numbers I should decrease my dosage to 100 milligrams per week to stay into HRT territory, but I don't because I like the muscle building effects. I'm a gym fanatic. Gym is my life. I like those effects, so I'm staying on my dosage of 125 milligrams per week. TRT only with regular dosages, like going from 100 milligrams per week to 125 milligrams per week, is very easily manageable in my opinion. But as soon as you start adding other shit like finasteride, like arimidex or HCG, that is where things get really complicated, and that is actually where I'm at. Alright guys, ending it here. Let me know in the comments if you are on TRT and you also saw these fluctuations in your levels. Kindly do the YouTube things, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you on the next one. Uranus out.